Well, first of all, I'm going to tell you a story about my grandpa. And luckily, I had the opportunity to meet him because he passed away about like 6 years ago. And if it wasn't for getting organ transplants, he would not be here, or he wouldn't have lived an extra 20 years. Okay, you guys know it's the size of a football. It's pretty large, like, I don't know exactly. But his kidneys both were inflated to the size of footballs. So there was 2 footballs in his stomach, you can imagine, pretty large. And he had to get a kidney transplant. But instead of getting one kidney taken out and getting a transplant, he had to get both kidneys taken out and get a kidney transplant. And yeah, so I'm glad I had the opportunity to meet him. And so yeah, today I'm going to describe the process involved in organ donation. Today I'm going to be talking about what is organ donation, what organs you can donate when someone is alive or when they're dead, what are the myths that come prior to being an organ donor, and how you can become an organ donor. So first of all, I'm going to tell you what is organ donation. Organ donation is the harvesting of the individual's organs before or after he or she dies to transplant into someone else's body who needs an organ. But you can also transplant organs when you are alive. While a person is alive, they agree to become an organ donor, and if someone is in need of an organ, a kidney, or anything, and they have to do a match, then they can donate their organs through surgery. And in the United States, there are approximately 99,200 people that are awaiting organ transplants, according to the Organ Procurement and Transplantation Network. There's also a shortage in organs. More people... Sorry. More people are needing organs than there are people that are actually donating organs. There are about 3,000 people added to the organ waiting list each month. And about 16 to 17 people die every day from waiting to get an organ transplant. Now that you understand what organ donation is, I'm going to describe to you what organs can be donated when you're alive and when you're dead. Okay, so from looking at this, you can see what organs. I'm first going to tell you what organs can be donated when someone is dead. First of all, the eyes/cornea, their lungs, heart and heart valves, liver, intestines, kidneys, and pancreas. These are all tissues, so you don't have to look at that. And when someone is alive, the organs that they can donate are their lungs, liver, and kidneys. And very rare are the intestines and the pancreas. Kidneys happen to be the most common organ that people need to get transplanted, or so that's the most common. And so from looking at, thank you, this, you can barely see the colors. There's all different colors. Oh, you can. Okay, well, first it's saying kidney. There's 78,106 people that need kidney transplants. That's the most. Like, that's more than half. And the rest, it shows the color, so that's 76% people. And then, so on, it says the pancreas is 2%, the kidney and the pancreas is 2%, the heart, 3%, lungs, 2%, the heart and lungs, 0, the liver, 15, and the intestines are 0. Those are people that are waiting to get organ transplants. Okay, now I'm going to explain to you what organs need to be, or what organs you would transplant when you're alive or when you're dead. I'm going to explain to you the myths that come with organ donation. There are 3 main myths. The first one is, people think if they're a donor and they get in a serious car accident and they're in the hospital, they're not going to be taken care of as well, because they know, oh, well, if they die, their organs are going to be transplanted into someone else, so they're going to be saving a person's life. But that happens to not be true, because doctors, when they're taking care of someone who got in an accident, they don't see the documents that say if they're a donor or not. That is in the police's hands. So they're trying to keep the person's best interest in mind, and they're just trying to save their life. The second myth is, well, people think celebrities just, doesn't matter when they get on the waiting list, they're just right at the top. That's not true, because it matters in the severity of your illness, how long you've been on the waiting list, and if you have a match, who is at the top. So celebrities, it's just because they're in the tabloids and the public eye, people think, well, they're getting right to the top, but that is not true. The third myth is, people think that they're too old to donate organs. That's not true, because it does not matter age. There's been instances where people have been 70s, in their 80s, or 90s where they donate organs. It doesn't matter your age, it matters on how healthy your body is, how well you take care of yourself, if you've had cancer or other illnesses. Now that I've explained to you what the myths that people think prior to becoming an organ donor, I'm going to explain to you how you can become an organ donor. The first thing that you can do is sign up, register with your state donor registry. The second thing is on your driver's license, sorry, my driver's license, and it says, you have like a, oh no, it'll say like donor right here, you can't really see it, the pink little circle. You can, when you get your license or when you renew it, you can sign up to be a donor. And if you're under 18, which I was when I got my license, I had to have my parents' consent to be a donor or not. The third way is you can get a donor card, which is this picture. You can do your name, your age, your blood type, and what organs you want to donate. And there's other information you can put on there. And the last thing is you can talk to your family prior to let's say you don't get the opportunity to become an organ donor because of some certain reasons, and you talk to your family about your decision, you can write it out, something. So let's say you happen to pass away, they have on record that you want to become an organ donor, so your family can be your advocate for that and tell the doctors. So today I've discussed what is organ donation, what organs you can donate when you're alive or when you're dead, what are the myths that happen prior to becoming an organ donor, and how you can become an organ donor. You know that being an organ donor is the most selfless act, and by saving someone's life, it's just, you're making a huge impact on their life and on their families. And giving the gift of life might lighten the families. Let's say they lost their son, and he was a donor, he donated his organs to someone. By saving that person's life, they can just be happy, even though their son died. They know that he saved someone else's life. And that's all. Oh, really? Okay.
702. Do we need someone to be a parent?
No, not necessarily. No, you can speak from where you are. You don't have to stand up and give your presentation. So that's what I was going to say. Mimi, what did you think?
I think overall it was a great presentation. I think you had a great voice and you covered all the points that you wanted to. And basically, what I got for the central idea was the process of organ donations, the myths of donations, and what organs you can donate. And I think for your visual, showing the different organs that you can donate while you're dead or alive, that was informative because I didn't know that there was like two different things. I didn't know you could even donate, And overall, I think it was a great job.
Okay. All right, Alexis, I thought you had a good story to start with, but you need to practice it a little bit more, make it go more smoothly, and you had some of the same issues between the supporting points. It sounded a little mechanical as you're going from point to point, and it needs to come out a little bit more polished, a little bit more professional, but everything was very clear. It's very well organized. You've got a good preview at the beginning of the speech. When you're in the body of the speech, you are clearly signposting as you get to each of the points. On the visuals, I thought that the one visual that you had, the diagram of the body, would have made a little bit more sense, for instance, if you had two diagrams, one for live donations and one for after deceased donations. That might have helped a little bit, because otherwise they're all up there, and I'm not going to remember them all as you're talking about it, and it's not going to be as distinct. And the other thing is, I think you need to clarify a little bit more about what a live donation involves, because clearly, you can't donate both of your lungs as a live donation and expect to continue to survive. So you need to explain, that you were donating a lung or part of a lung, that sort of thing. Say, well, I've got a couple kidneys I'm not using. Help yourself. There's got to be a little bit more explanation there. As introductory material, it's fine. It outlines the material that we need to understand. I think you need to make it a little bit more interesting with some examples and illustrations or some stories about things that would pull us in. But the content was okay. You start off with a couple of good citations on the first point, but I didn't hear a lot of citation after that. Hang on.